To see my exclusive content, visit Chrissy VIP at ChrissyOnline.com and be sure to join the mailing list for updates on future videos. The links are in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Hello. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. So as you can see, I wanted to talk more about this trans woman topic. I'm not gonna cover everything that I went over in the last live stream. So if you want to hear my complete thoughts about this topic, definitely go watch the last live stream where I talk more about it. This is going to be more so a reaction video and just a response to some of um, the videos I've seen from trans women as well as women, just, kind of responding to this whole just hilarious thing. And one really big response I keep seeing and hearing over and over and over again is, oh, it's not all trans women. It's not all of us. Why are you taking that one person who, said that women can't gatekeep periods? Why are you taking what that one trans woman said and applying it to all trans women? Now, technically, let me say this. Okay, it's not all. If you guys want to hear that, fine. Technically, that's true. It's not all of them. The point is, it's enough of them. That is the point. How many more trans women, transgenders have to come out and say the same shit before women realize that this is a common thought process? Yeah, I saw Laverne's video, the fake crying. I didn't see not one teardrop. I'm not even going to go over their video because it's like, for what? Like, it was just some fake kumbaya stuff, whatever. But this video I think is very important because it highlights what I've been saying for years about how these people feel about you. You guys know I have done several videos about trans women dating back 6-7 years ago. So this is not a new topic for me. I be going ham on this topic. So you guys already know what it is. Like I said, if you want to hear my complete thoughts, you can listen to either the old videos or the video I did a few days ago about Jess Hilarious and T.S. Madison and how they are intentionally misgendering biological women to make themselves feel better and to make themselves feel more like biological women. I already talked about that in the last live stream, so if you missed it, go watch it. But I've noticed, like, in the last few days, I've been watching a few more responses, and I see that there's still a lot of Black women, especially, who think trans women aren't talking to them, right? They think they're special. And it's so interesting because we see this a lot with like colorist Black men and just Black men in general who, are very misogynistic, very misogynoristic, and they say all of these horrible things about women. And you see women be like, oh, they not talking about me. They think they're a special snowflake, right? Oh, he's not talking about me. He's talking about those bitches over there. He talking about those bitches over there. That ain't me. That I'm not the transphobe. I'm not the turf. So he talking or they talking about them over there. This ain't me. And I'm like, no, 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 sis. He talking about you too. They talking about you too. And it's just really, really sad to me how transgender, especially transgender women, they're so much of a protected class that Black women with large platforms are scared to even say anything at this point. A lot of us are scared and we're in fear of being labeled a turf or a transphobe or even getting our channels removed or demonetized. Like, that's how bad it is out here, right? It's to the point to where everyday women and, a few of us YouTubers are out here battling against prominent trans women who have been in the mainstream media, right? But the reality is they have way more visibility than us, way more visibility. T.S. Madison has worked with Beyonce, Angelica Ross. I forget what show she's been on, but she's been in, mainstream TV shows. So these people are very prominent, and it's to the point to where other people of any type of celebrity status, even on the level of just hilarious, I don't see them coming out against, and standing by just because they're too scared to be canceled. They're too scared to be canceled. There's no actual mainstream Black woman on Jess's level supporting her because they're too afraid to be canceled. That says a lot. That's actually scary. It's scary to me. And if y'all don't see the problem with that, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Because look how many prominent trans women, uh, T.S. Madison, Laverne Cox, Angelica Ross, prominent transgenders coming out more or less saying the same shit. Y'all look like men, this, that, and the third, or sharing videos from trans women who say that. And so that kind of leads me into what I want to talk about. Let me share my screen. Because this is just, to me, it's just gotten out of hand. Yeah, am I wrong about that? Has there been some sort of okay, Claudia Jordan, maybe. What did she say? Because I must have missed that. But I didn't see her coming out and saying anything. I saw Funky Dineva talking about her, saying that she was defending women, but didn't really actually see her come out and say anything. But this is Angelica Ross right here on the right, dark skinned transgender. And Black women welcomed Angelica into our space to talk about issues pertaining to Black women. This was, and I think I did a video on this. This was called Black Women Own the Conversation on Own Network. And this was about, the Black woman's plight, colorism, dating. We welcomed Angelica into our space, okay? And I saw where, Mr. Dineva said that Black women don't allow trans women into our spaces outside of some kind of service they provide. That's not true. And especially in this instance, Black women allowed them to discuss their plight on a mainstream television show. So, we're not going to sit here and then suddenly pretend that Black women have not been very welcoming of trans women. We definitely have. And I feel like us being so inclusive is why they're so comfortable at this point with disrespecting us and attempting to control our bodies and how we identify with womanhood. So, in my opinion, the space we have given them is too much. It's too much space because look at what's happening. And it's time for Black women to really put our foot down. If you ask me, tighten the ship a little bit. And I'm glad at least some of us are finally waking up and trying to take our power back. But so far as mainstream celebrities, haven't seen any biological women hardly come forward, at least not as many of them as I see trans women. That's a problem, y'all. That's a problem. I know we have, us YouTubers speaking up, saying stuff. You got everyday women in the comments saying stuff. But if the celebrity Black women are too afraid to say something, that lets you know something's wrong. That lets you know something's wrong. And that lets you know who in this instance matters the most. And this is what I want Black women to understand. This is why I keep doing these videos, because I've been saying this is a problem for years. And another thing y'all have to remember, a lot of, and I was gonna say the feminists, right? The prominent feminists, they're very vocal, celebrity feminists, and they're on the trans women's side, like Amanda Seales. Right. So any type of biological female celebrities that are coming out speaking, they're speaking against women and they're pro-trans. And something that you guys have to remember is that a lot of these feminists, like Amanda Seals, some other ones that we won't name right now, who, are partially responsible for allowing trans women to get too comfortable in our spaces, they will never say trans women or any member of the LGBT is wrong, because a huge portion of their income is dependent upon their support. So I want to I want you guys to recognize that. So a lot of women like Amanda Seals and other women, other feminist women, prominent feminist Black women, they can't be 100% honest about what's going on because it'll mess up their bag. So that's what we have to understand here. They're not going to be able to really fully hold trans women accountable because they can't. They can't. It's going to mess up their money. Yeah. And speaking of, the feminists, there is this popular school of thought when it comes to feminism that says trans liberation means liberation for women and Black women in particular. But so far, I don't see how their gains have benefited us in any way when we've gotten to this point, where we've gotten to a point where we are defending the right to associate our periods and our reproductive system with womanhood. And we literally can't defend ourselves against their respect without being canceled, to the point to where prominent celebrity Black women are scared to say something. Their liberation is not trickling down to us if we can't defend ourselves and our plight. We're literally being muzzled and silenced by trans women. While anybody and everybody, how many people on this platform shit on Black women? How many people on this platform can say whatever they want about Black women and their channels don't get canceled? They don't get demonetized. They don't get censored. But anytime you mention trans women, your videos getting demonetized. You got to worry about your channel getting removed. You got to worry about being canceled. You got to worry about being punished. How many people on this platform, male, female, transgender, whatever, how many people on this platform are being punished for shitting on Black women every day? How many people? So far, their privilege and protected status has not trickled down to women. And it's the same thing I tell y'all about biracial women. Their privilege, the visibility they have in the media, all the stuff that they get over dark-skinned women, that does not spill over to you. That does not trickle down to you. They're undermining you. And that is what's beginning to happen more and more with trans women. I told you this years ago, and now it's coming to pass. I told you this was going to happen. And so all this stuff about, trans women, when they're free, that means freedom for us. I don't see that. As of now, I don't see that. That's not happening. Yeah, pink butterfly. I'm blaming, part of this is our fault too. We're fighting over them against each other. And Black women, you need to understand, because I heard T.S. Madison bring up the whole Roe versus Wade. And to me, that's a deflection. Look, I understand that we as women, we're getting our rights taken away from us. Trans women are getting their rights taken away. That's fine that we can relate in that way, but that doesn't take away from what you're doing to help oppress women. That doesn't take away from what you're doing to help silence women. Let's not deflect and talk about what the overall system is doing. Let's not deflect that from what you're doing. It's a cute little deflection. It works, especially for Black women. It works. But no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to let them deflect like that. And just even talking about the whole Roe versus Wade, that shows you that Black women as a collective, we don't have the power to oppress anybody. We don't have the power to oppress trans women. We can't even stop our own oppression. We can't even stop our own rights from being taken away. Immortal Anana says, imagine claiming to be feminist while ignoring women's issues and protecting some dude in a wig and a dress. This is insane. This is what the feminists are doing. And I'm trying to tell you, They can't mess up their bag. They're so far in at this point. They're in way too deep to where, a large portion of their audience are trans women or the LGBT, so they can't say anything against them. They've kind of pigeonholed themselves trapped themselves in this corner to where they can't say anything negative about them because they'll get canceled. And then the celebrity Black women, they just don't want anything to do with it at all because they're like, oh no, this ain't even worth it. This is not even worth sacrificing my entire career for because I'm gonna get straight up canceled. So Jess really has no women on her level to back her up. And even though I don't, agree with everything Jess says, definitely not. She has her own issues. But what I'm saying is, Jess could be anybody. It could be anybody, any woman that comes out and says something similar, and she wouldn't have any backup because everybody's scared to say something. They're scared of being canceled. So yeah, this is where we're at, y'all. And even though, I'm glad Black women are speaking out, I think it's about time. We've let this get so bad that we can't even talk about it. We can't even criticize trans women. We can't even check them when they're wrong and they're being disrespectful without being called transphobic and getting canceled. That's how bad it is. And it's partially our fault. A lot of this is our fault because we bringing them in to talk about Black women conversations, and look what they're doing. So yeah, this trans woman on the left, this is Cherry Boom. And I'm sorry, somebody sent me this and I didn't even research like where they came from. I don't know what Cherry Boom was on. This is my first time ever hearing of this person. But according to my subscriber who sent this video, she didn't really go into detail, but she said that Cherry is very anti-Black woman. Cherry is also colorist. I don't know if she was correct about that. And if that's correct, even if it's not, I told y'all before that the LGBT community is just as colorist and anti-Black woman as any group of people, which is even more reason why y'all need to stop believing that all of them are your allies, because they're not. Black trans women, especially, to me, are trying to be the new mixed women, if you ask me. It seems like, and I hate to throw colorism in here, but I'm just going to keep it real. The lighter trans women seem to be more disrespectful. And I think because they're perceived as to be more attractive. I could be, reaching. I don't think I'm reaching with that though. But that is what it seems to be. And so not only do dark-skinned women have to worry about colorism coming from men and light-skinned women, but now we have to deal with it from transgender biological males. Right? Yeah, Morena Rose says most feminists are about white women rights. They could care less about the rights of Black women. This has been the case since the beginning of feminism. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about Black feminists, though. I don't know if I specified that earlier, but I'm talking about Black feminists who are pro-trans. That's who I was talking about earlier and how they think. So if I didn't make that clear, that is who I was talking about. But yeah, I agree with you about white feminists. Um, but yeah, now we have to worry about colorist biological males. And, according to the Black feminists, because I'm, a Black dark skinned woman, and because I'm affected by misogyny and misogynoir and colorism, then I'm just supposed to have compassion for trans women. And I'm supposed to be so understanding for these disrespectful trans women who are also misogynistic and misogynoristic and colorist. And I'm supposed to say, oh, well, because I understand what it's like to be discriminated against, I'ma just allow you to disrespect me. That's the feminist train of thought. And no, absolutely not. Absolutely. That's not how this works. I'm not going to give you a pass just because, there are some similarities in the way we're treated by men. No. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. Not when you're being just as disrespectful and hateful. Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's listen to this video from Cherry Boom. Did y'all tell me where Cherry Boom is from? I'm sorry, I didn't do my research. I didn't really care to know. But my subscriber did send me the link to this video, so I went ahead and downloaded it, and we're gonna listen to it together. Let's see. Facebook. Okay, so Cherry wasn't like on a show or anything. Okay, Cherry is friends with T.S. Madison. Okay. I thought they were on some type of show or something. Minimize this so I can see. Memphis, Tennessee, very disrespectful. Okay. Okay, well, let's just get started. Let me know if y'all can hear. Okay, listen, my computer be acting funny, but we should be able to hear it.
I'm gonna just keep it above. A lot of cisgender women are just unhappy. Let's use the term that they love. A lot of real women are really unhappy. A lot of real women are really unhappy. A lot of real women are really insecure. And a lot of real women are really bothered that trans women really look better than they really do. Since they
okay. Black women, like this is just wild to me. This is what your over acceptance of trans women have gotten you. We got biological hood rat presenting males. This is the hood rat version of the biological males, pumped up full of plastic with lace front wigs on, crunchy glue down baby hairs, okay? Saying they look better than you and they're happier than you. What has the world come to? I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. And to keep it a buck, maybe because I'm familiar with trans people and the LGBT. Like I told y'all, I've been telling y'all forever. I have a very good friend who's a gay male. And so, I've been to all the clubs, the parties, the balls and stuff. So I know what they look like. So Cherry to me is clockable. I could look at them and tell that they're transgender. But Cherry is considered to be one of the better looking ones. Okay. So a lot of what's being said here doesn't even apply to most transgenders because they're not even as passing as Cherry is, right? And so it's interesting to see some of them co-signing this when they're not even passing. The majority of y'all can't afford feminization surgeries. You can't afford all of the enhancements. And even if you get them, it's a lot of black market surgery. So you're still not passing and you look kind of, odd a lot of times. It's no shade. I'm just telling the truth, right? But women who, in general, right? Women who don't experience being misgendered, why would we be jealous? Why would we be jealous of how most of y'all look? Like to me, this is a coping mechanism going on with some of these transgenders, and it's kind of sad. It kind of makes you feel sorry for him a little bit because, like, wow, this is what you really think. It's delusion at best. So I can kind of understand how some of y'all feel sorry for him, but it's like, we can't be delusional though. Like, we have to tell the truth. We have to. So let's continue.
Really want this real word, bitch, you can have it. Girl, you can have it. Girl, it's not my fault that you mistaken my happiness and my femininity as a challenge. Sweetie.
Okay. I'm sorry. Women have mistaken your femininity as a challenge when we're responding to members of your community because y'all are jealous of our vaginas and our periods and our reproductive organs. If anything, it's biological men challenging us and competing with us over, what we can and can't associate with womanhood. Y'all are challenging us. And I don't understand why trans women won't own their competitive nature. This is what I talked about in the last live stream. They're extremely competitive and they're trying to make it seem like we're challenging them. For the most part, it's them challenging us. It's weird.
When I was identifying how feminine I was and how far I wanted to go and how I wanted my inside to match my outside had nothing to do with you. Okay? Because it seems like y'all only have so much to say when it comes to a competition. It really seems like y'all only have so much to say when it comes to tearing somebody else down. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Let's be clear, Miss Thing. A lot of you don't want to be you.
Okay. They said a lot of you don't want to be you. And look, while I understand where he's going with this part, I kind of get it. But even women who get BBL surgeries or beauty enhancements, they aren't trying to completely change into another gender like trans women. So, they're the last people to try to mock anyone for not wanting to be who they are. This is just so weird to me. This is like some of the weirdest shit. Like, you hate the gender you were born. You almost kill yourself trying to be the opposite gender. And now you're taking your frustrations with that out on women who, you had to pay for what they have naturally. If you think this looks like happiness, Cherry, you are sadly mistaken. You don't look or sound happy. You don't.
I speak very frequently and openly about my penis, about the type of sex I have, about the type of men that I'm attracted to. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Y'all are just mad that people are really out here moving and happy, and y'all are really mad that people are being mistaken for you and getting more respect than you do. That has nothing to do with us. That is not a reason why you should be disrespecting us and trying to make it a big thing. Girl, don't nobody want no period. Don't nobody want no motherfucking kids, because a lot of you hoes don't want no kids. A lot of y'all only having these motherfucking kids to keep a man around.
Oh boy. Okay, where do I start? Okay, look. You can't be us the way you want to be. That's the real problem here. Let's be honest about that. Okay? And if trans women get more respect than us, it's because we've been too inclusive, Cherry. Women are a huge reason you're able to get up here and do this and pop your shit without consequence, without women being scared to check you. It's because of our inclusion, the reason why you so bold like this. So you can thank us for considering you and being compassionate of you. You can thank us for what you're doing now. You're welcome. Because this is our fault, y'all. This is our fault. Now, the part he said about how women are, having babies just to keep a man around, that part is true. However, there are a lot of black women, I would say trans women, not black women, who also are having children. And how do I say this without it being confusing? Because Flame Monroe did bring this up. And I don't know if Flame Monroe is an opportunist, but a lot of what Flame Monroe says is true. And I don't know. I like Flame Monroe in the sense that he's not delusional about like who's what and what exactly trans women are trying to do. Like, he's not lying about that part. As opportunistic as he may be, he's still not going to sit there and lie about the type of shit that they're on, right? And one thing that Flame Monroe brought up is how a lot of trans women are having kids that they don't want nor take care of. And I want y'all to stick with me because it may be confusing for some of y'all who are not around them, but because I know this to be true from seeing it with my own eyes. Again, I have a gay male best friend. So I had a lot of gay friends and acquaintances in high school and college. And there was actually a trans woman I went to school with who had a baby with a stud lesbian. Okay. Trans woman with a stud lesbian. And I don't want you to get confused. Okay. Trans woman, obviously biological male, stud lesbian, obviously biological female. They had a baby, and that happens. That happens. If you guys didn't know that, there are trans women who get with stud lesbians and they have children together. There are trans women who get with trans men and they have children. Okay, that happens, right? This is the part they don't talk about. And see, a lot of y'all don't know. You're from the on the outside looking in. You don't have a lot of friends in the community. You don't know the type of shit that goes on. And a lot of them are having kids they're not taking care of. Okay. And I had a friend of a friend who had a baby with a stud lesbian, right? And the stud woman has custody of the baby, and the trans woman just kind of does whatever they want. They pop in and out just like the typical baby daddy. And again, this is something that if you don't have experience with these people in real life, you don't know this kind of stuff goes on. And that's why it takes someone like me who has firsthand knowledge of the LGBT community, because you can't look at me or try to paint them in a perfect light to me, because I know some of what goes on. But it's easier for them to just point at women and say, well, see, y'all do this to keep a man, and y'all do this to do this. When some of them have some of the same behavioral patterns, okay, they too are having children with the wrong people for the wrong reasons. It just flies under the radar because there are fewer of them doing it, right? And so I do appreciate Flame Monroe for airing that shit out, because this is something that they're not going to talk about. What about the children that trans women and just the LGBT are having in general to save face to their families and to fit into society, or just because they want a baby really bad? What about the children that they're having for the wrong reasons and with the wrong people? Why aren't y'all talking about that? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy for them to hide behind transphobia and behind, the unaliving of trans women, and they cover up all the shit that they do wrong. All the same ways, all the same colorism, and all the same dumb shit they do as far as having children. They like to they can effectively hide that shit behind transphobia, because they know Black women, it's gonna scare them into silence. They're gonna say, oh, well, I don't want to be transphobic, so I'm not gonna talk about, I'm not gonna air out their dirty laundry. No, we're gonna do that shit over here, because y'all are full of shit. Talk about your own skeletons and the own behavior y'all are doing as far as having these fucking children. Talk about your own children that you're raising all fucked up, because you're fucked up in the head. And you can't accept yourself. And you're having children for your family to look quote unquote normal. Talk about that shit that goes on in the LGBT community. Don't just talk about the Black women who are having babies to keep a man.
A lot of y'all only having motherfucking kids because you're trying to make your mom and daddy happy. A lot of y'all are married, or not even married, but the ones that are getting married are motherfucking married to a man that don't respect you, probably beat you, don't give you the compliment, don't treat you like the real woman that you are. So why are you really mad at us? You're not really mad at trans women for considering ourselves women. You're mad because you don't really get respected as the woman that you really were born to be real in.
And see, this is that, fake deep shit. I don't know. He's trying to sound more, intelligent than he is. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to figure out why he's acting like they're so much more respected by the community and society in general, because they're not. Again, they're having babies for the same reasons. They're getting in relationships for the same reasons, for their families and to save face. We all know that DL gay male who got married and has a beard because he wants to look normal to society. I mean, why are we acting like this doesn't go on in the LGBT community? And to me, this is nothing more than projection, because it's actually them being mad at us for how men treat them. This is what I said in the last live stream. A lot of this really boils down to that. And they blame women for how grown men are treating them, even though we can't control how grown men treat us. And see, this is why they gotta, get all upset over dumb shit like periods and reproductive organs. This is why they gotta try to control whatever it is they feel they can control, because they can't control the men that hide them and keep them as their dirty little secrets. So they want to project that onto us and then try to control us. And remember how this started. This didn't start with women. It started with trans women saying we can't gatekeep periods. And now y'all are turning this into some competitive womanhood conversation about looks and who can't get a man and all this shit. No.
Girl, stop taking all your frustrations and your disrespect on other people. That has nothing to do with us. Anybody trying to take your place? Girl, the only reason why you feel some type of way is because we look like something. Girl, but at the end of the day, none of us are respected. And I tell y'all,
none of us are respected. You just said that you were more respected. Okay.
All the time, as a trans woman, if I would have known, I would still be a woman. But bitch, if I would have known the things that change the difference between being a man and a woman, girl, it sucks being a woman. Girl, do you think a person will really transition to still live a sucky life? People don't respect women. And when you are sexy, bitch, they only look at you as a sex object. Bitch, they fuck y'all ugly
ass. Sir, you're on OnlyFans. That's why they look at you as a sex object. You presenting yourself as a sex object. So that's why they look at you that way.
Girl, bitch, you not mad at how men look at us? Because men fuck anything. Men are out here fucking children and animals. So, girl, let's stop making it about what men like or who trying to fool who. Girl, niggas don't give a fuck. We don't have to fool no motherfucking body. I'm sure some of y'all real women have seen men fuck other real women and be like, ew. We feel the same way. Girl, when I see men that talk to me and I see their baby mamas and their wives and stuff, I be like, ooh, like, how you go from that to this? It's like, girl, no, you got some money.
And see, this is what I'm saying. But if we say we don't want a man who fucks a trans woman and we say ill to that, we're transphobic, right? Right? And see, let me say this. What he's doing now is not exclusive to trans women, right? Women will call other women ugly. Women will call other women fat and manly and bad built and all that stuff. The baby mamas be fighting with the side chicks. So I'm not going to lie and sit here and act like that doesn't go on. But the issue here is that this is an outside group saying this. These are biological males who have zero experience being women, who think they are better than women, and who are trying to control women's bodies and spaces, just like typical men. And this is something I need Black women especially to understand, because y'all will say, especially the Black feminists, y'all will say, oh, well, cis women, we call Black women ugly and manly. Right. And guess what? We don't accept that from each other. So why are we giving trans women special treatment when they come up in here and do this? Why do y'all want me and Black women in general to give them a pass just because they're a marginalized group? That is not how this works. You don't get to be a misogynistic, disrespectful outsider, because you are an outsider, and think I'm going to accept it just because, oh, transphobia. No, you have positioned yourself as a competitor. This is what I said in the last video. You position yourself this way and you position yourself in a woman's space and you try to act like you're better than us. All bets are off. You're going to get the same drag. Like you're going to get called a man in a wig. You're going to get called ugly. You're going to get called manly. You're going to get called all of that because of what you're doing. You're not going to come up in my space and call me ugly and think you're not going to get called ugly back. That's not how this works. What do you think this is? And I think that other women want us to just sit there and accept it because, oh, there's a marginalized group. They're getting unalived by Black men. And so are we. Welcome to the club, bitch. Welcome to the club. We're not going to treat you with kid gloves because, again, you're an outsider. So if we don't treat each other with kid gloves, if we call the next Black woman ugly, what makes you think you're going to get special treatment? No, you an ugly, manly bitch too. You going to get the same treatment, boo. You an ugly, hood rat, manly bitch too. Now what? Now what? You can call me transphobic. I don't give a shit because that's what you are. You sitting here calling women ugly and you think we're not going to get our lick back? Come on now. That's not how this works.
The caliber of women that y'all fuck are loser. And you bitches will never be shit because you don't care to be shit. You always worried about the wrong thing. You're so worried about what a man like before you motherfucking care about what your children like. You worried about what a man will approve before you realize what your children approve.
And see, I need to see all of these perfect trans women who are the perfect parents, don't care about men, don't care about who men fuck and where they stick their dick, because y'all are the main ones talking about who bitch man you done fucked, how you don't have to fool a nigga, how they gonna still suck your dick, they don't give a shit, I don't have to fool nobody. So when I see all of these trans women who aren't worried about the same shit that women are worried about, who aren't worried about men, then I'll take you seriously, Cherry. Don't sit here. And this is what I don't like about trans women. They're not being honest. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, we don't care about men. That's cis women. That's cis women that care about. No, y'all care about it more than we do. Because Jess didn't say nothing about men. Jess didn't say nothing about, you know, you don't look passing and you look like a nigga and y'all tricking men. Jess didn't say that. She said we have periods, we're real women and we can gatekeep periods and anything we want as women. We can do that. She didn't say nothing about men. Y'all brought that in the conversation. And see, that's what I respect about Flame Row. Flame and Row. Flame and Row was honest about that shit. Flame was like, Jess didn't say nothing about how anybody looked. Y'all brought that into the conversation. And then now you're mad. Now it's transphobia because we call you a man in a wig. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You gonna like, I don't I don't understand how y'all don't see how black women disrespect each other and you don't think you gonna get that back when you disrespect us. No, you don't get special treatment. Sorry.
You so worried about pleasing a man before you worried about pleasing yourself. Your battle is not with us. Sweetheart. The issue is not between us. Sweetheart. And then you have people in my comments like, oh, you need to change your voice. No, I don't. This is my voice. And this is how you should know I don't have to fool nobody. Bitch, I can go get my Adam's apple shave for $1,100. Bitch, it has never been a big thing of me because I am that comfortable with who I am. I don't need to go get a voice feminizer because, bitch, I'm comfortable in who I am.
This is about as delusional as like I said, this is like the hood rat trans woman version of like it's just crazy. Cause it's like, cause I look at women sideways when they do this, when they have on these wigs that don't match the texture of their real hair. They got the little crusty baby hairs laying down. BBLs got a million surgeries and talking about how they're comfortable in their skin. You're clearly not. You're not. If you didn't have a problem with how you were, you wouldn't have gotten everything that you have now to appear more like a woman. And you can't pay me to believe that they don't make their voice a little softer when they're talking to men. No, you got that bass in your voice right now because you checking women. That's why you got that bass in your voice. Now, when you trying to finesse that nigga out his money for OnlyFans, please believe I know your voice is softer. Ain't nobody stupid over here. We know how y'all operate. That voice don't sound like that when you sucking dick. Ain't nobody stupid.
I never had a problem with my voice. I never had a problem with my motherfucking Adam's apple. I never had a problem with my shoulders. Bitch, I had an issue with how I identified. And then when I identified how I choose to identify and how I felt, now you bitches is mad. When a person is in their truth, you all still mad.
How delusional can you be? What is the truth about this motherfucker? What's the truth? Nothing is real. I'm not looking at anything real. The hair, the lashes, the body, nothing is real on this person. Oh my God.
Some of these hoes will get their dick chopped off and their face pulled down just to be feminine and still unhappy, still clockable.
Like you clockable, sis.
You're not gonna ever be happy with society until you're happy with yourself. And once you're happy with yourself, you'll realize you'll never be happy with society because society ain't happy for you.
Child, look, and that was the quote everybody was quoting. If y'all don't get this fake, deep, manly motherfucker off my screen, trying to sound intellectual and not, like, we're done with that. But I just wanted to react to that because that is how a lot of them feel, y'all. That's why they were sharing it. Angelica shared that. Angelica shared that video on her Instagram timeline. And that was the same trans woman y'all had on Black Women Own the Conversation in your space, giving them a mic to talk about their plight. Because I said, I'm gonna stop giving them the respect of honoring their pronouns when they can't respect women. When you start respecting women and you start knowing your place and stop overstepping your boundaries, I may think about honoring your pronouns. But as of now, no. You're gonna be they, them to me going forward. Because even y'all called me out for being too nice. And I have to agree. I think I've been being too nice. Even though I've been telling them the truth and laying the smack down, I still feel like I've been being a little bit too nice, honoring their pronouns. Because I'm not, I don't have respect for people who disrespect Black women in that manner. I definitely don't have respect for colorists. Y'all know how I feel about that. And so, no, you don't get my respect. Yeah, we all have been too nice. I agree. And they're mad at me. They've been unsubscribing, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's YouTube, unsubscribing people or if it's actually people unsubscribing. But even my channel has taken a hit for telling the truth about trans women. And it's been like that for years. Ever since I, made videos about them, people cursing me out, people emailing me, people unsubscribing, people making response videos. And part of me, I was talking about this to another content creator. And we think that some of it's YouTube too. Again, it's the censorship. This is like real life consequences. People get canceled. People's platform gets demonetized. I think Candace Owens, her platform got demonetized for talking about trans women and the trans agenda. So I'm trying to figure out how their quote unquote liberation is trickling down to women. Because I, as far as I'm concerned, we're being silenced. We're being muzzled. And like I said, it's very telling that hardly no celebrity on Jess's level, that's a biological woman, has come out in support of women because they can't. And I know a lot of them agree with Jess. They probably, talking to her behind the scenes like, I agree with you. Are you okay, sis? But they can't come out and say anything because they're going to be canceled. I'm pretty sure she's getting a lot of, support on the back end that we can't see from other celebrity Black women, but they can't come out and say anything. And, realistically, it's like, why should women, especially Black women, care about your plight when you're minimizing the wombs and the bodies that gave you life? Why should we even care? Like, if you're minimizing that, why should we care about you? And that may sound morbid and mean. Oh, you don't care about the lives of trans women. You don't care about the people who gave you life. So, and a lot of people hate when Black women come on here and say and talk about, selective birthing, selective childbirth, and who we're giving birth to. That's why. You want to disrespect the womb that you came from. Okay, well then, Black women, you can fix that. You can fix that. You don't have to keep having children for this community. You know where I stand. I don't want kids anyway, but I definitely am not bringing no kids into this mess. And it's not just because trans women, is Black men, the whole community. Fuck this whole community. They won't be getting no kids for me. They're literally saying that our reproductive organs aren't worth anything. So just like Black men, like, why continue to give them mortality then? Why continue to do it if they're just going to disrespect you in the end? And the people, because I made the post about that cute little interracial couple that did that Disney video. I did that on my community tab. And this one woman, I don't know if she's just unfamiliar with my content, and she was like, why do you condone interracial relationships and having children, biracial children that gonna replace you? She was like, that's so twisted. And I'm like, it's not any more twisted than birthing children into, one, a permanent underclass, and two, birthing dark-skinned daughters in a community that hates them. And so y'all hate when I say this, but when it comes to having kids, whether they be black or biracial, it really is a catch-22. It's like, pick your poison. Which one do you want to pick? Because either position is not the best. It comes with its ups and downs. It comes with cons. With whatever you decide is going to come with a con. So choose wisely. That's all I'm saying. Choose wisely. And if you don't desire children, strongly consider just not having them. And I did a whole interview with child-free women. It's up on Chrissy VIP, ChrissyOnline.com. We just talked about, child-free life and the alternatives and all the worries that women have behind not having kids. Oh, I'm going to be alone in my old age. Who's going to take care of me? When you got people with grown ass kids who put their parents in nursing homes. So just because you have these kids, it don't mean they're going to stick around and take care of you. You think you're not going to have friends? You can form a community of childless women. You don't have to be alone. You can set yourself up to where you're good. If you ever get sick, I have my sister's friend. She's dealing with that now. And by the way, she has children and she's sick. She has to, have a at home nurse with her almost 24/7. But she set herself up to have the resources to do that later in life. She started young and now she has the resources to do that. So having kids or being child free is not the end of the world. It's really not. So black women, you definitely need to get serious and think about what you're birthing into this world. You really do. Because I feel like if they're not going to appreciate your womb and the way the way you live, the body that you live in as a woman, why continue to have these children? Why continue to do it? Yeah, I definitely don't want to raise. I'm so happy I just never had the desire to do that. I can't even relate to the women who just have that burning desire to have kids. I feel for y'all because this world is so fucked up. I wouldn't want to bring any kids into it, but I'm realistic in the fact that I know that most women want children. I'm not faulting you for that. All I'm saying is be wise with your decision. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, adoption is also an option. Yep, that's an option too. But yeah, I'm just saying, stop allowing these people to silence you, y'all. I mean, I understand it's hard to tell black women to do that because at this point it's directly tied to your livelihood and your money, and you will literally get canceled. If you say something, you will literally get canceled. And I do blame the left for that. I blame a lot of this, liberal conditioning. I mean, it's not all that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not completely on the right either, but I feel like we have definitely gone way too far to the left. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. It's gotten totally out of hand. Totally out of hand. And I just feel bad that black women are scared to say something. Like, I feel so bad and I feel like I had to speak up. Even my platform is taking a hit. I still had to speak up because I'm like, no, this is not right. This is not right. So I'm speaking for black women who have more to lose, who if they put their face to this type of shit, they'll get fired or canceled or, blackballed or whatever, shadow banned, whatever. I'm speaking for those women because this is just it's gone too far at this point. And like it says in the title, like y'all, a lot of them feel this way and they're talking about you too. You may not think so. You may think you're special, but they're talking about you too. So y'all need to get the program. So I'm going to make my LGBT playlist folder. I'm going to make it public. I'm like reorganizing my playlist. That's why they're private, but I am going to start making them public again. But I'm gonna make that one public so you can listen to my older videos about trans women. Like I said, they go back 6-7 years. Like I was really going hard on this topic when most people on this platform did not have the courage to say anything. So this is not a new topic for me. So I'm not gonna say everything. I didn't say anything in this live that I said in the past. So definitely, if you want to hear that, listen to the old videos, listen to the last live stream I did 3 days ago as well. But I just wanted to react to that and give my thoughts. So that's it. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch up with you next time. To see my exclusive content, visit Chrissy VIP at ChrissyOnline.com and be sure to join the mailing list for updates on future videos. The links are in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.